Yes, sir.
Now, basically, we'll talk about chapter number 2 now. First, you need to know what is there in chapter. Basically, what is remaining of this chapter is that is only a limited part that we'll cover in the next session. Now, we'll focus on chapter number 2 because it is very vast, and in this a lot many things we need to know. Now, here the objective now it is quality. First chapter was focusing on quality assurance. We were talking about the manager level. Now, actually, the task of tester starts from here. Now, what is required for a tester is being formulated here from chapter number 2. Now, here we'll go for the fundamentals whenever you think about when you talk about testing. So, here we'll be starting with the definition and objective of testing, role of tester, and its effects on quality. Then we'll go for the definition of what is exactly the meaning of error, a bug, a fault, defect, and failure. Because these are common name we come across whenever we go for testing. That is, what is error, bug, fault, defect, and failure. Then we'll go for 7 testing principles. Then there is a separate life cycle, that is a software testing life cycle. Then what is exactly the meaning of validation and what is the meaning of verification concept. Then there are 2 models, that is V model and W model. We'll go into detail. Then agile testing, that is test driven software development, that is TDS is one of the technique being used in agile testing. So we'll go into that, and then after that we'll be entering into the levels of testing. So we'll talk about unit testing, integration testing, system testing, user acceptance testing, and test type also. We'll talk about test type also, that is what is functional testing and what are the non-functional testing. Apart from that, we'll be going for the structural testing also, that is a white box testing. Then some tested related to the changes, that is what is retesting and regression testing. So all concepts will be clear in front of you, so there will be no problem, I think. So you just had to read the notes and you will be very much clear, I think, after completing this session. Then what is the non-functional testing? We will talk about performance, usability, maintainability, portability, locational and internationalization, and concept of smoke testing and sanity testing. So chapter number 2 is basically whatever question been asked in the interview of a tester are all covered in chapter number 2. So we'll go into detail about this one, and basically whenever you go for a job, for getting a job on a tester, 100% all the questions will be from chapter number 2 only. So we'll need to discuss this chapter in more detail when we think as a testing as a perspective of a future. So in this we'll talk about the fundamentals. Now, what is exactly the meaning of testing is for us? So we have already gone for the session that day, and we came across one second. We came across one of the alumni as she is working under the testing. Now, basically what I know about the testing is that testing is nothing a method to check whether the actual software product matches expected requirement. Because what we have learned in software engineering is that initially in software engineering, people used to talk about planning, analysis, designing, testing, and coding. Now requirement were gathered at the initial stage, and output after implementing the product, initial requirement and final product is been matched. Now there is one document called as an SRS, software requirements specification. Now this is one of the document where each and everything is documented as soon as the client interact with the development team and they give the requirements. Now the purpose and the thing that the tester have to do is that they have to check whether the requirement are being fulfilled, whether the customer is satisfied as far as the functionality of the product is concerned. Now here the purpose of doing this is just not removing defect, but analyzing your product with the requirement, comparing your product with the basic requirement. The tester's job is to compare your product with the actual requirement being given by the customer. So that is the most important definition that need to be considered as an initial stage by the tester. So second important thing is that it improves the execution of a software system components using manual and automation tools. So the industry nowadays there are multiple types of tool being used. So among which Manual testing is majorly prefers. 70% of the industry is currently working on the manual testing, and now some people are moving toward the automation testing. Why these testing tools are being used, we'll go into detail whenever we enter into chapter number in future. But basically we'll see that manual testing is the major heart of any testing industry. So we need to be very much clear about the different types of testing, and already we have discussed there are more than 157 testing types that are being carried out in the industry. So we just what have to do is that we need to know the concept in very much detail, then only we can bifurcate various types of testings. So here there is a definition of testing, that is you have to use some softwares or you have to do some manual or automation tools to evaluate more appropriate product quality. And last one, the purpose of software testing is to identify error, gap or missing requirement in contrast to the actual requirement. So basically the person who is doing a testing, he should be very much clear with the SRS. If he is clear with the SRS, then only we can say that he is efficient to execute. Now what are the objectives, why we go for the concept called as a testing? Basically thing is that the objective of testing is been bifurcated in various aspects. Now it is a fundamentally testing. Now initially whenever the tester have to work, he have to work on the very fundamental things of testing. So start from the unit testing, start from a functional testing. A small unit is being checked, your GUI components are being checked. So everything comes under the functionality testing. After the functionality is being executed perfectly, then only the user experience testing is being checked. Now here the testing is that the user who is using that application must be satisfied with the product that you have provided. So user experience related to the product need to be tested, and you have to consider as a tester, as you are a user of that application, you have to give and feedback immediately, and based on their feedback the development team will be doing some modification in the regular application. Now as far as the testing is concerned, you are not concerned with only the working, that is a execution and application. You have to think about the performance and load, because your application can be considered at a global level or at a local level. You cannot predict how much users are using those application and what must be the quantity of the user interacting with the system. So performance will play a very important role, and you have to test different types of applications are there on which you have to check the load of application, whether it goes for the crash or it is executing after a number of users been interacting with the system. So that is again a most important thing. And then is compatibility, because nowadays people are using a website on a tab also, on your mobile also, on your PC, personal computer, on your laptop. So various devices nowadays are being used by the people. So if you are talking about the devices, so it is compatibility. Apart from that, people are using different operating system also, different browsers are being used. So you cannot predict what the user will be using. So based on the user, we have to think that different types of component, different types of testing plans we have to do, different types of testings we have to do for checking the compatibility of their product. And then apart from that, some add-on things you have to do, that is nothing but a security testing. In security testing, you have to check the authenticity, whether the user has entered into that. You have to check whether there is any leakage, so that the hackers or any lay person not getting interactive with the system or doing some manipulation in the data. So you have to do that one also. So that is one more thing you have to maintain. And most important, that is test management, because writing a test is very is not that much difficult, but you have to manage your show, because you have to follow some deadlines. So again there is a management. So these are the basic, what we could say as 6 major objectives of a testing. And to become a tester, you have to follow these 6 basic objectives, then only we can say that the application that is been tested by the team is efficient. Are you clear with this? Yes, this 6 component: fundamental testing, user experience testing, performance and load testing, compatibility testing, security testing, and test management. Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
The same objectives are being explained in a very what you call as a text format, but putting everything in a diagrammatic representation, it becomes very simple. So basically by looking at this image, you can identify what the role, what is the objective of testing is there in the industry. Now we'll talk about the roles being played by the tester whenever it goes for the checking the efficiency of the and the quality of your product. So there are two types of people. Now one is will be the leader, and rest one will be the subordinates who will be helping them to do the testing of an application. Now the people who are at the top are always called as a team leader or always called as a project manager. Now there is separate differentiation between the work profile being allotted to the designation. Now if you are a manager or if you are a team leader in the industry, what you have to do is that you have to define the testing activities for subordinates, because your juniors will be executing the testing. They will be writing the code if they are going for automation, and if they will be manually checking if they are following the manual testing. So testers or test engineers that are been your subordinates, what you have to do is that as a manager you have to define the testing activities. Now activity means what? You have to plan each and everything starting from the starting day to the deadline. What all activities your system will be doing, you have to maintain it. Now then second one is all responsibility of test planning. Now the test planning is not done by the subordinates, it is always done by the team leader or a manager. What all testing you have to do? A scenario based application. You have to be a very good perspective about the application, what is exactly there in the system, and then only it is possible that you can create a very good test plans. If test plans are there, then you can create a test, you can go for testing of that applications. Now third point is to check if the team all has the necessary resources to execute the testing activity, because there are different platforms. Some people are going for cross platform testing, some are going for cross browser testing. So this is a responsibility of the team lead or a manager to check whether the hardware and the software support is being provided to the subordinates who are going for the testing. Now next one, it checks if testing is going hand in hand with the software development in all phases, because at some phases testing is completed after the execution, that is after the product is being created, but in most of the situation testing is being done as immediately after the product build is being created. So if a product build is created, immediately the testing team have to work on that build, and then only the product can be sent to the further phases of development. So it should be the hand in hand testing should be going on, and that have to be managed by the team lead or a manager. The next one is the prepare the status report of testing activities, because the company organizational managers which are be organizing who have been the product who have launched the product and who are the customer of the product, they might be asking at some situation what is the exact status of your application. In those situation, the testing team is not responsible, rather than it is a lead or a manager who will be giving the reports what is exactly the status of the testing is been provided at current situation, that is been maintained by the team leader. And next one is the require interaction with customers, and in many cases the customer are being interacting with the managers and team leaders for the feedbacks. So feedback need to be considered from the customer, and this has been maintained by the manager and team leader. And the last responsibility of the manager or a team leader is to updating project manager regularly about the progress of a testing activity. So you have to report to the manager of your project regularly, then only you can it is beneficial for the execution of or implementation of the product within a deadline. Now the people who are working at the bottom level, who are exactly doing the testing, are called as the test engineers or QA testers or QC testers. So there are different organization, in different organization people call it in different way. Some people call it as a junior tester. So you will search on Naukri.com, you will find there are different names being given by different organizations. Now what are these people are doing? At the bottom, these people are doing, they read all the documents and understand what is needed to be tested. So you need to be ready and you should be able to read the SRS, that is software requirement specification, then the customer requirement being specified. Then you need to read the code also, because you should know what exactly the person has done in the coding also, that is a programmer how he has written the code, that type of scenario should be known by the tester, and he should be familiar with the technology that he is going for the testing. So an application perspective is also most important. So these are the one thing, major thing, that is you should be ready with the documentation. You should be based on the information procured in the above step, decision how it is to be tested. So now it is a decision be taken by the testing team, the how, if any test planning has been done, now how that plan need to be converted into test case. So test case has always been written by the people at the bottom, that is a test engineer or a QA tester. So test planning has been done by manager, but testing that is called as a test cases have to be written by the QA testers or a test engineers. Now inform the test lead. Now it's a responsibility of the people that they need to inform the test lead, that is the manager or the test lead, about the resources which will be required for the software testing. So based upon the product, always that is a possibility, that is your hardware or software requirement may change. So you have to bring under the consideration of your leader that what all testing requirements are there, and that resources need to be implemented immediately. Now the next one is a develop test cases. Now this is the duty exact what of a tester is that you have to create a test case, and you have to give a priority of testing activity. So which one needed to be tested first and which need to be tested after some time. So that prioritization of your testing activities is done by the test engineer. And finally, when we go for executing all the test cases and report defect, define severity and priority of each defect. Now this defect which has been identified by the testing team need to be put it on a paper, and they need to be bring under the consideration of your team leader. And finally, carry out regression testing every time when changes are made in the code to fix out. Now there are different types of testing. Among them, regression testing is more commonly been used. Now regression testing means what? You are testing each and every component continuously and regularly. If there is any change in one of the side, still you have to go for the whole software or whole application testing. That type of testing is called as a regression testing. Now there is a retesting also, and there is a regression testing also, and we have to go into difference of retesting and regression testing into detail. In coming session we will be talking about what is exactly the regression testing in and what these people are doing in regression testing. But now we will just think that the regression testing needs to be done frequently by the test engineer. Are you clear with this one? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now basic thing is that there are different words being used by this testing people. Now some people call it as error, bug, fault, default and failure. Now the problem, now see the problem, now error is a word being given by the development team. The people who are writing a code, if they find something problematic in their code, the thing is called as an error. Okay, it is not been analyzed by the tester, it has been identified by the development. Are you clear with this? Error is the thing that is a mistake in a product that is being created by the programmer, or that happens by mistake by the programmer, and that is been identified by the programmer himself, is called as an error. Are you clear with that?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
And what is fault then? Incorrect condition that are system internal and not directly visible from outside the system boundaries. For example, a system stores incorrect data or is in an incorrect mode or state. Now fault happens. Now fault is that you are doing some manipulation, just you want to do some addition, subtraction or multiplication, division, and after such situation you find there is a change, that somewhere a float value is been changing, decimal values are being changed, because somewhere you have added integer with the float and float with a decimal. In those situations, the error that comes, that is not an error because it is getting executed. We all think whatever code we have written is perfect, but at the end what we see is that the calculation or the manipulation been done by your code is doing somewhat wrong. That thing is called as a fault. Basically faults are majorly due to mathematical operations. जहाँ पर भी मैथमेटिकल ऑपरेशंस होते हैं, अगर आपने इंटीजर के जगह फ्लोट के जगह डेसिमल लिया, और कहाँ पर आपने वो पार्सिंग वैल्यूज़ को यानी डेसिमल वैल्यूज़ को इग्नोर कर दिया या फिर कहाँ पर तो भी ऐड कर दिया, उस सिचुएशन में आपका कोड एग्जीक्यूट होता है, डेटाबेस में भी स्टोर होता है, बट देयर इज़ नो प्रॉब्लम. बट फॉल्ट इज़ दैट योर कस्टमर नोज that what is was the expected output and you are getting a wrong output. There is some manipulation in the output of your product. वो जो मिलता है, the product that is giving an output in that way, that product is called as a faulty product, or we call that as a fault. तो fault क्या होता है, वो error नहीं होती, but वो error, it is incorrection done by some mathematical operation or something, the logic has been changed, and due to that the what we call as unexpected output is getting from the system, and that unexpected output is not accepted by the customer, and that's why it is called as a faulty product or a fault. Are you clear with what is fault? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Error is from
Yes, sir.
developer, fault is again from the developer's logic. Okay. Now failure. Now failure is events or condition in which the system visible behavior incorrectly, or that has incorrect properties, that is one or more of its behavior or properties are different from what is stakeholder can reasonably expect. So failure and fault, now these words will be very much similar for you, but fault is a mathematical operation changes, but failure is that everything is going very correctly, but in some situation you find that your system is not responding, there is some bugs being created. Now what it is not, we call it as bug, but when we say that your system is going into a situation where it cannot interact with the customer, or it cannot interact with the user, and if it is using if it is giving a response to the user, but it is not working as per the way the customer was expecting the system to work, so that situation, that application is called as a fail application, or it is called as a failure, because the expected what is by the customer or the stakeholder, but what you are getting in a back response, it is not matching with one another, that is called as a failure. So if it is mathematical issues, that is called a fault, because it is concerned with the data, that is fault. But when we called about the features, what we were expecting feature from the application, and what the feature is being provided by the application, if there is a controversy, then that product is called as a failure, or we call it as a failure of that product. Now there are two things. Now next, bug and defect. Now bug is if tester finds any mistake. Now see, whenever testing team goes, always we see that a tester call it as a bug. Now if a testing teams find any mistake in the application system during the testing phase, that is called as a bug. Now see, the tester is finding the problem in an application being developed by the developer during the phase of a testing is called as a bug, and if the same fault is been identified after the product is launched on the customer desk, that thing is called as a defect. Are you clear with this? What is bug and what is a defect? जो भी प्रोडक्ट हमारी कंपनी के अंदर चेक होते समय उसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आइडेंटिफाई हुए, वो अगर प्रॉब्लम्स टेस्टर ने आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं, उस चीज़ को बग कहा जाता है, और वही प्रोडक्ट जब मार्केट में लॉन्च होता है, कस्टमर उसको यूज़ करते हैं, और यूज़ करने के बाद उसमें कुछ डिफेक्ट आता है, उसको यानी उस प्रोडक्ट में कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं, तो उसको हम डिफेक्ट बोलते हैं. सो बग आर बीन handled by the testing team and by the development team within the organization, but defect are the problems being created after the product is been launched. Okay, so bug को आप निकाल सकते हैं, डिफेक्ट को आप निकालने के लिए आपको कस्टमर का सेटिस्फैक्शन लेवल लो हो जाता है, कस्टमर आपके ऊपर इतना भरोसा नहीं करता, बिकॉज आपने बहुत बार देखा होगा, अगर आपने कुछ मार्केट में से कुछ चीज़ें लाई और वहाँ पर चालू थी, पर घर पे आने के बाद वो चीज़ चालू नहीं हो रही, समथिंग प्रॉब्लम इज देयर विद द प्रोडक्ट, व्हाट हैपन, you get frustrated because there is a defect in your product. So defect is a thing where the customer satisfaction levels may come to low level, and due to which the customer might get unhappy with your services. So are you clear with what is the difference between error, fault, failure, bug and defect? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Remaining students, Mahesh,
Yes, sir.
Jayashree, Dhanashree समझ ले, ऋषिकेश.
Yes, sir.
Now this thing is most important. This question is always been asked in interview. Whenever you go in interview, you will find that people will ask you what is the difference between bug. You have to be clear with what is bug, what is defect. Bug and defect is a common question. What is a failure, what is a error, and what is a fault. Because after reading all the words, you will find these are the same, but actually the meaning of these words are somewhat different. Now these are 7 principles. The theoretical part will be shared with you. Now these are the 7 principles you have to keep. Now principle means what? Anything is being created, it has some principle. If you are going launching any product, you are launching a product based on some principles, that is some purpose is there behind that. Now principles, there are 7 principles of having a testing of your product. Now first of one is that testing shows presence of defect. यानी डिफेक्ट जो चीज़ है जो प्रोडक्ट को लॉन्च करने के बाद आती है, कस्टमर उससे नाराज़ होता है, हमें वहाँ तक नहीं जाना, हमें उसको पहले ही लॉन्च आइडेंटिफाई करना कि कौन कौन से प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं. अगर प्रॉब्लम आपके कंपनी के अंदर ही रह गए और आपने उसका सोल्यूशन वहाँ पर ही निकाला, तो आपका कस्टमर को पता ही नहीं चलेंगे ना कि आपने प्रोडक्ट कैसे यूज़ किया है, यानी कैसे उसमें कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स हैंडल किए. तो यू हैव टू टैकल योर सिचुएशन दैट इज़ डिफेक्ट of your product within your organization. The first principle is that testing shows presence of defect. Okay, so there is a first principle that you have to do testing for the purpose of identifying defect in your product. Second one is that exhaustive testing is not possible. Now see, testing, you cannot do testing continuously, that the product is with you and you are doing testing continuously. It is not like that. Now you have to check the functionality of what is most important for your application, and you have to check in a different scenario. Now exhaustive testing is not possible means what? You cannot check all perspective. So considering some perspective, some scenarios, you need to go for the testing. So that is one more principle you have to keep in mind. Only testing doesn't mean that you are doing testing and you think that your product that you have tested is 100% tested. You cannot assure. It is a very complicated and tedious job of testing an application, and to some extent we can say that a testing team is responsible or is been involved to make the defect as much as possible in front of a development team so that it can be resolved on time. But it is very exhaustive process, and to make it more simplified, this is the most important thing principle you have to find, that testing is very exhaustive and it is not possible, but still you are trying to do the testing. And third one is early testing. As soon as the product is being created, it is always a duty that your product needed to be tested at the initial stage only. It should not be like that the product has completed some 6 or 7 phases of your product launch, and after that you are going for the testing phase. So it should not be like that. So immediately after the application, some phases or some product, some modules are being created, immediately it should be put under the testing team for testing its efficiency. Then defect clustering. Now after checking, after identifying the defects in the product, it should be rectified immediately. Now defects are being created after the product is been launched. So after the product is been launched, it should be the responsibility of the testing team to again reconsider the different types of defects been identified on the customer end, and it needed to be clustered and bring under the consideration of the development team. This is the most important, what we call as the fourth principle of your testing. Fifth one, pesticide paradox. The word means pesticide. We use the word pesticide frequently when we don't want our product, that is any product, to be defected by external entity. So you have to be pesticide paradox. That means the external entities that will be interacting with the system should be you need to be consider those all perspective, that what all entities will be interacting with the system, and based on that you need to create and you need to test your application in a very systematic way, just like what we do in a regular scenario, that is we spray a pesticide on a crops so that it will not get contaminated by any other pest. And for the same way, it is same thing be done by in the industry by the testing team, that the pesticide, that is you have to do a meticulous testing, and due to which it is not that any entity interacting with your application from outside will be identifying the test problem in a upcoming scenario. So that is most important. That is a fifth what we call as a principle of testing. And sixth one is testing in context dependent. Now you have to be a context dependent. So everything that you have done or you are trying, you have to be put on a paper, and you have to follow the SRS being provided by the development team, and you have to create appropriate test plan, you have to provide overall testing, what you call as reports to your team leader, and if it is there, then only it is possible that after the product is been launched, you can interact with the customer and say that the whatever changes or whatever level of testing you have done, it was satisfactory at the initial level. So that thing you have to maintain, that is you have to be context dependent, that is you have to prepare a documentation in a very systematic way. This is one of the most important principle of testing. And last one, absence of error fallacy. That means it should not be there that after launching a product it should go in the stage of error. So at least if some bugs are there, you can rectify those bugs, but if there is a huge error, that is there is an error in a coding, that should not happen in your product after it has been launched. So these are the basic 7 principles you have to keep in mind, and there is 100% at least 5 marks question maybe get asked related to the 7 principles of testing, and you should be clear with this 7 principle of testing. The theories are already shared with you. You prepare a notes for this, that is a 7 testing principle. Yes, are you clear with this? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now just like SDLC, there is STLC also. SDLC stands for Software Development Life Cycle, and it contains planning, analysis, design, coding, testing, and finally implementation. Now see, when we talk about SDLC, there is one phase called as a testing. Now this phase itself is a whole life cycle. Now in testing life cycle, it is one of the phase of SDLC, and now itself, that phase itself has its own life cycle. Now the thing is that testing has its own life cycle. We call it as a STLC, that is software testing life cycle. This is one more question been asked in university examination. You need to be prepared for the STLC. Now here what you have to do is that, as a tester, is that you have to gather the requirement analysis. Again, just like SDLC, here the requirements are somewhat different. Here you have to go for the SRS. It is already been prepared by the project managers and all those people. Now what you have to do is that you have to go for analysis. Now here what you will be doing, you will be reading the SRS and you will be rectifying with the product. Actually the product uske andar wo cheeze hai ke nahi. That is called the requirement analysis. Then you have to plan based on the requirement कि आपको उसको किस तरीके से टेस्टिंग करेंगे. That is test planning. Now this duty, this work has been done by team leader और प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर. ये 2 काम जो है ऊपर के, that is requirement analysis and test planning, is done by the your higher level people. अभी इन्होंने इनका काम नीचे देंगे अभी वो QA टेस्टर और उन टेस्टिंग टीम के लिए. Now here the test case development is done. Test cases are always being prepared based on your test planning. टेस्ट प्लानिंग होने के बाद ही टेस्ट केसेस आर बीन डेवलप्ड बाय द QA टेस्टर्स, एंड आफ्टर दैट द एनवायरनमेंट इज सेट. जो हार्डवेयर और जो सॉफ्टवेयर आपको चाहिए उसको टेस्ट करने के लिए, ऑल आर बीन सेटअप आफ्टर दैट. सो पहले रिक्वायरमेंट आती है, फिर प्लानिंग होता है, फिर उसके बाद में टेस्ट केसेस डेवलप किए जाते हैं. केस करने के बाद उसके बाद उसको एनवायरनमेंट सेट किया जाता है कि कौन से एनवायरनमेंट में आपके प्रोडक्ट को लॉन्च करना है, और उस प्रोडक्ट को उस एनवायरनमेंट में करने के बाद आफ्टर दैट व्हाट वी से दैट इज एग्जैक्ट टेस्ट एग्जीक्यूशन इज बीन डन, and after execution reports are being created, and that reports are being provided to the higher authority or a team leader for appropriate action. That is, if there is a bug that need to be rectified, if the product is okay, then it need to be sent for the release team or the implementation team in the market. So are you clear with the STLC? Here it is requirement analysis, test planning, test case development, and after that there is a environment been set up. कौन से सॉफ्टवेयर आपको चाहिए उसको टेस्टिंग करने के लिए, या फिर कौन सा हार्डवेयर और ब्राउज़र चाहिए उसको टेस्ट करने के लिए, एंड देन आफ्टर दैट इट इज़ बीन टेस्टेड एंड फाइनली द रिपोर्ट्स आर बीन प्रोवाइडेड. सो आर यू क्लियर विद दिस? यस.
Yes, sir.
Now validation and verification concept.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
रुकना है क्या आज? क्या ज़्यादा हो रहा है? यस. Shall we continue or we need to stop, because everything is ready and just I have to speak and you have to listen. क्या लग रहा है आपको? Shall we continue on another day or should we continue today, or we should stop after this concept? Yes.
कंटिन्यू
हाँ?
करें
Continue करो ना.
कंटिन्यू करें सर.
Okay. Now here validation and verification. Okay. Now this is the most important thing you have to do as a tester. Now verification and validation. Now this is the first initial stage what the tester have to do, and you need to be clear about what is validation and what is verification. Now verification is one of the word. What verification exactly the testing is doing. Now you know that the SR has been provided by to the development team. नाउ इनिशियली जब भी कोई प्रोडक्ट बनना चालू हो जाता है, नाउ टेस्टिंग टीम तो सोती नहीं उस टाइम पे. देयर इज नो चांस फॉर एन टेस्टिंग टीम टू स्लिप. ना उनको करना क्या होता है उस सिचुएशन में. वेन एवर द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ एनी प्रोडक्ट इज गोइंग ऑन, टेस्टिंग टीम इज नॉट वॉचिंग एनी मूवी. दिस पीपल आर रीडिंग SRS. what is that thing is called as, this is called as a verification. Now development team is doing its development, but testing team will be checking whether this is feasible for the developer to develop this application in the way it has been written in SRS. It is verifying whether the SRS is been written in a very systematic way, or is there is a need for a change in a SRS, or is there any limitations, or is there any drawback of the requirement being provided by the top management. ये सभी काम जो होते हैं, that is called as a verification. So SRS verification is been done by the testing team, that is test managers and the team leaders at the initial stage. And what is that validation? Validation is a thing that is been done by the testing team after the product is sent for launch. After that the product is sent for launch. If the product is sent for the launch, then only it is sent for validation. So verification part is the time where product is not created, it is only the documentation which is there with the team. And second one is that validation means what, whenever the product is been launched by the development team or a testing team. Now here are the basic differences. What you need to understand is that the verification process include checking documentation, design, coding and program. यहाँ पर आपके यूज केस डायग्राम, एक्टिविटी डायग्राम, सीक्वेंस डायग्राम, कोलैबोरेशन डायग्राम, ये सब कुछ चेक किया जाता है वेरिफिकेशन में. वैलिडेशन में क्या होता है, इट इज अ डायनेमिक मैकेनिज्म ऑफ टेस्टिंग एंड वैलिडेटिंग द एक्चुअल प्रोडक्ट. Okay, so now we will talk only about verification. So what these people are doing before the product, as soon as the product is been sent for the development, immediately the testing team work on verification. Now सबसे पहले वो क्या करते हैं, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का डिजाइनिंग, कोडिंग और प्रोग्रामिंग, इन चीज़ों के ऊपर चेक करना चालू कर देते. They does not involve executing the code. So there, in this phase there is no coding, nothing is there, only documentation thing is there, and you are just reading and doing some changes in your documentation. Then verification use method like review, walkthrough, inspection and desk checking. Now यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि डेवलपमेंट टीम और टेस्टिंग टीम दोनों इकट्ठा बैठकर वो प्रोडक्ट जो SRS आपको मिला है उसके ऊपर रिव्यू होते हैं, उसके ऊपर वॉक थ्रूज होते हैं यानी मीटिंग्स होते हैं, इंस्पेक्शन होता है एंड डेस्क चेकिंग होता है कि एग्जैक्टली क्या काम चल रहा है. सो दैट इज बिन डन इन वेरिफिकेशन. देन वेदर द सॉफ्टवेयर कन्फर्म्स टू स्पेसिफिकेशन इन चेक. देन वेरिफिकेशन के अंदर ही होता है कि अगर आपके रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से प्रोडक्ट बन रहा है कि नहीं, दैट इज अगेन बिन डन इन वेरिफिकेशन. इफ फाइंड बग्स अर्ली इन द डेवलपमेंट टीम, इसका पर्पस होता है कि आपकी इनिशियल स्टेज में ही आपको बग्स आइडेंटिफाई होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, एंड दैट इज बिन डन बाय द वेरिफिकेशन टीम. ना टारगेट इन इज एप्लीकेशन and software architecture specification, complex complete design, high level and database design. So now here these people are doing designing of complete what is called as a high level design or database design or architecture design, or some specifications are been written. So everything is been written in this verification stage. Now here the QA team does verification. So these are the all top level peoples, not a bottom level people. So QA team does verification and make sure that the software is as per the requirement in the SRS document. It does not become validation. And now this phase is coming before the validation. ये सबसे पहले आता है और ये टॉप लोग मैनेजमेंट के लोग ही काम इसके ऊपर काम करते हैं. दैट इज वेरिफिकेशन. आफ्टर दैट when the product is been at the stage of development or it has been developed, that is it is developing or it has been developed, at that stage validation is being carried out. Now ye low level, that is a people who are recruited with as a fresher or with some limited set of experience are working on the phase called as a validation. Now it is a dynamic mechanism of testing. यहाँ पर exactly the people are going for testing and validating the actual product, यानी आपके requirement के हिसाब से आपके product की testing की जाती है. Then it always involves executing the code. यहाँ पर execute कोड जो आपने डेवलपर ने लिखा है उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने को करा जाता है, उसको टेस्ट कर किया जाता है. नाउ इट यूजेस method like black box testing and white box testing or non-functional testing. Now what is the meaning of black box and what is the meaning of white box? We'll go into detail because we will be talking about the different types of testing in detail, but you have to keep in mind the code which is visible is called as a white box testing, that is a tester is able to read the code, so that type of testing is called as a white box testing. And if the code user is, that is a tester is not allowed to view the code and he is only allowed to check the functionality, the thing is called as a black box testing. So here these people are been asking to do black box and white box testing, and it check whether the software meets the requirement and expectation of customer. तो यहाँ पर customer की requirement expect के हिसाब से हो रही कि नहीं. It can find bugs that the verification process cannot catch. Okay, या वेरिफिकेशन के प्रोसेस में जो जो बग्स मिस हो चुके हैं उस चीज़ों को हैंडल करने का, टैकल करने का काम वैलिडेशन फेज में होता है. एंड देन इन हियर टारगेट इज़ एन एक्चुअल प्रोडक्ट, यहाँ पर एग्जैक्टली जो प्रोडक्ट होता है वही आपका टारगेट होता है. And then one with the involvement of a testing team, validation is executed on software code. So here exactly the testing teams come into picture, and these people go for actual testing and finding different types of bugs into their product. And finally this type of phase, that is a validation phase, comes after verification. So are you clear? Verification product लॉन्च होने से यानी प्रोडक्ट डेवलप फेज में जाने से पहले किया जाने वाला जो वर्कआउट होता है, जो QA एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर करते हैं, जो टीम लीडर करते हैं, जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर करते हैं, उसको वेरिफिकेशन बोला जाता है. एंड ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ प्रोडक्ट वेदर इट इज़ गोइंग फॉर डेवलपमेंट स्टेज, जो प्रोडक्ट डेवलप स्टेज में है या फिर जो प्रोडक्ट इट इज़ ऑन द लॉन्चिंग स्टेज, दोज प्रोडक्ट विच आर बीन टेस्टेड बाय द टेस्टिंग टीम इज नथिंग बट अ वैलिडेशन. आर यू क्लियर विद दिस? Yes, Rushikesh?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is called as a V model, verification मॉडल, या फिर जिसको वेरिफिकेशन वैलिडेशन मॉडल, VV मॉडल भी बोला जाता है बहुत जगह पर, कुछ जगह पर इसको V मॉडल भी बोला जाता है. ना ये मॉडल हम ओरली डिस्कस करेंगे, थ्योरी मैंने ऑलरेडी दी है. ना ये जो लेफ्ट वाला पार्ट है, दिस इज ऑलवेज कॉल्ड एज एन वेरिफिकेशन एंड दिस राइट वन पार्ट इज कॉल्ड एज एन वैलिडेशन. ओके, सो लेफ्ट पार्ट वेरिफिकेशन, ये देखो फ्लो कैसा है. इट स्टार्ट फ्रॉम रिक्वायरमेंट एनालिसिस, सिस्टम डिज़ाइन, क्योंकि SDLC के फेज है ये. देन आर्किटेक्चर डिज़ाइन, module design. Now this is all phases, this is only what we do is that we go for only theoretical concept parts. Requirement analysis, system design, architecture design, यहाँ पर सिर्फ डिज़ाइनिंग होती है. That is you are creating a SRS and into SRS these all things are been added. That is your system design, your requirement analysis, what all analysis you have done, actual system, how it will be designed, architecture design, how the data will be flowing into your system, and modules, what all modules will be there, whether it is a finance module or administrator module or a purchase module or a invoice module, what all modules are there, all are been identified. Then after that it is been sent to coding. At the bottom you will find that is a coding, and after coding it is entering into different types of testing. Now initially the first type of testing that comes into the picture, that is called unit testing. After that it becomes integration testing. After that it is coming system testing at the high level, and finally when the product is sent for the launching, that is it has been sent check for the acceptance testing, means what, whether the product will be accepted by the test customer that has been tested. Now see, module testing is a basic part, is a core part, is at the bottom. Now that thing is called as an this is nothing being integrated by the unit testing, and we call it as unit test design. What tester have to do is that in this V model is that these people have to create unit test design for unit testing considering modular design. So module design के ऊपर आपकी यूनिट टेस्टिंग क्रिएट होती है, एंड दैट प्लानिंग, दैट डिजाइनिंग इज कॉल्ड एज एन यूनिट टेस्ट डिजाइन. ना ये आपको मॉड्यूल डिज़ाइन में आपको यूज़ केस डायग्राम, एक्टिविटी डायग्राम, सीक्वेंस, इस तरीके के डायग्राम आपको दिखाई देंगे. नाउ इंटीग्रेशन टेस्टिंग, यानी आपका मॉड्यूल किसके साथ इंटरेक्ट होने वाला है. दो मॉड्यूल्स यानी फाइनेंस, अगर हम कोई चीज़ का बात करें, एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर एडमिन मॉड्यूल फाइनेंस मॉड्यूल के साथ यानी अकाउंटिंग के साथ, फिर बाद में परचेस के साथ, ये सब इंटीग्रेट होने वाले. नाउ दिस इज कॉल्ड एज एन इंटीग्रेशन. डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ मॉड्यूल्स व्हेन दे आर इंटीग्रेटेड, there is a possibility that your product may go into failure. So for that purpose, if after completing the unit testing you are going for integration testing, and into this you are checking nothing but architectural design कि आपका डेटा एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट, परचेज डिपार्टमेंट में सही तरीके से जा रहा है कि नहीं. और उसके लिए जो डेवलपर टेस्टिंग टीम जो डिज़ाइन करती है उसको हम इंटीग्रेशन टेस्ट डिज़ाइन बोलते हैं. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? इंटीग्रेशन टेस्ट डिज़ाइन. Now we'll talk into that. After the system product is completed, now it goes for system as a whole. पूरा प्रोडक्ट बन चुका है, now आप उसको टेस्टिंग के लिए भेज रहे हैं. Now you are going for the system test design. Now you are doing whatever it is being considering as system design will be correlated with the system testing, and you are doing designing of testing, that is called as a system test design. Are you clear with this? Now customer ने जो भी requirements आपको दी थी in the form of interviews or in the form of paper, those requirements are being checked with the acceptance testing, and this is nothing but called as an accepting test design. Are you clear with this V model? One is called as a verification validation model, जिसको हम VV model भी बोलते हैं. V for verification, V for validation. This is called as a V model. Are you clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now this will stop with this advantages and disadvantages of V model, and we'll continue our session on Monday. Now we'll talk about only about the V model. What are the advantages? Now it is a high descriptional model, and phase are completed one at the end. It is disciplined model. You'll find it is very disciplined. Now see how it is be disciplined, because unit testing is correlated with your module design. Integration testing is correlated with your architecture design. System testing has been correlated with your system design. Acceptance testing is correlated with the customer, what requirement it has given. So it is very disciplined. So that is one of the most important advantage of V model, is that it is very highly disciplined. Second one, works well for small project where requirements are very well understood. So जो system के application के आपको functionalities पता है, उसकी ही requirement आपके पास सही तरीके से आई है, और वो जो प्रोजेक्ट छोटा होगा तो उसके लिए ये मॉडल ठीक है. नाउ सिंपल एंड ईजी टू अंडरस्टैंड एंड यूज़. आप उसको सही तरीके से, इट्स वेरी सिंपल टू यूज़ एंड वेरी इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड. सो दैट इज़ वन मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस. एंड फाइनली, easy to manage due to the rigidity of the model. Each phase has specific deliverable and a review process. तो हर एक फेस को आप रिव्यू कर सकते हैं, और ये सबसे अच्छा है. नाउ देयर आर सम ड्रॉबैक्स, दैट इज हाई रिस्क एंड अनसर्टेनिटी. देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट आफ्टर लॉन्चिंग द प्रोडक्ट, दैट इज व्हेनेवर द प्रोडक्ट गोज फॉर एक्सेप्टेंस टेस्टिंग, तो बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि रिक्वायरमेंट उन्होंने अलग दी होती है, पर इंटरप्रेट करते समय, वेरीफाई करते समय, एंड व्हेन यू गो फॉर एक्चुअल डेवलपमेंट, वो प्रोडक्ट कोई अलग तरीके से बना, तो दैट इज़ अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट योर प्रोडक्ट मे गो फॉर फेलियर. So that is one more thing you have to be clear with this, that is there is high risk and uncertainty for V model. Not a good model for complex. Now it is not recommended for the complex and applications and object oriented project also. Nowadays people are working on object oriented, so here it is not important. Then poor model for long and ongoing project. Nowadays people are going for agile process, and in agile process you will find it is a long going process, and in those scenario it is not recommended to go for V model. Not suitable for the project that requirements are at the moderate or to high risk of changing. तो अगर आपके कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट ही कंसिस्टेंट नहीं है, उन दो सिचुएशन वी मॉडल इज अ फेलियर. Next one, once an application is in the testing stage, it is difficult to go back and change fundamentally. So आपने अगर प्रोजेक्ट बन चुका है, यानी इट इज़ बिन सेंड टू द प्रोडक्शन, उसको आपको फिर से चेंज करने में, मैनिपुलेट करने में, इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. सो दैट वाई इट इज़ नॉट रिकमेंडेड व्हेनेवर द रिक्वायरमेंट्स आर नॉट फिक्स्ड And last one, no working software is produced until the फाइनल लाइफ साइकिल इज बिन कम्प्लीटेड. तो जब भी आपका प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च हो जाएगा तभी जाके इसकी लाइफ साइकिल ख़त्म होती है. सो इंटरनली you are don't have anything to show to your customer or to take a review from the customer. So it is very complicated to go for. It is just like a waterfall model. In waterfall model we don't we go for the development, we go for the launching of a product after completing all phases. In same way in V model we go for the customer acceptance testing after completing all phases, and we just go are dependent upon the customer feedback. And so it is very tedious and complicated whenever the application are complex and your customer requirement are not fixed. So are you clear with this V model? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now this how we will stop today.
Yes, sir.
Now you can ask me any question. Already I have sent you the notes of chapter number 1 and 2,
Yes, sir.
and this presentation is already shared with you on your WhatsApp group. Now you can refer that also, and you can ask me in Monday's lecture also if you find any doubt. I think so all doubts are being cleared from my side, and if you still find, my video will be launched immediately and you can refer the video also. Okay. Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. No problem.
Don't have any problem. So okay, I will send you the on Tuesday my lecture will not